All right, all right, all right. This is a Type A, a Garrard Type A record changer turntable. And I, on my eBay store, sell an updated bearing set for the one that's in there, which is loose bearings and Bakelite washer. This is an upgrade with way more bearings and a race washer. It'll make this guy a lot more stable, less rumble, and you'll even gain a little bit of speed. But a lot of times, not all the time, but a lot of times I get asked, how do you take this guy out? The spindle adapter that traps the bearing. It traps it for a reason, because if it's pull it out, there's some ball bearings in there that will fall out, which I'll show you in a moment. But meanwhile, this is the, I think it's 11 ball with a race washer. This is only, I think, 5 little ball bearings. And that's the replacement. Also, just so you know, you're gonna fill that with this stuff, white lithium grease. Before you get it in there, you're gonna fill the cavity with white lithium grease and a bit more around everywhere else, just a little bit, not too much. But anyway, more to come. Okay, we have our Garrard upside down, so we can get at that spindle. As you can see, the mechanism here is rather complicated, but that's for a reason, because they work really, really well. Now, this procedure works on most of these Garrards. The only difference is some of them, depending on the year and type, will have like a larger cover over here, which you might have to remove. But the Type A, you don't have to remove anything, because what you need to do is get to those 2 screws. If I can get my pointer in here. There we go. You want to get to those 2 screws. Undo those and the spindle will just drop out. And so will the Bakelite washer and all the ball bearings. You can see the Bakelite washer right there at the end. And it'll just drop out, and then we can proceed with putting the new bearing on. Okay, so this dropped out and fell to the floor. No, you caught it, but everything else fell out, and probably all the bearings hit the floor as they fell out. As you can see, I lost 2, but that's okay, because we're going to replace it with this guy. So there's the whole carriage assembly. And what we're going to do now is, when it all fell out, you had 2 washers, a spacer, rubber spacer, and another metal spacer. The metal spacer here goes at the bottom, so that goes on first, down like that. And then, don't forget, this is for the Type A. It'll be different for other versions of the Garrard, but this is for the Type A. There's pictures of how the assembly should go on the eBay page, but I'll just run through this one. We then get the spacer goes there, and unfortunately you can't load this up with the new bearings and everything and put it straight in, because the main drive gear, as you can see, is in the way, so you kind of have to preload it. Of the 2 washers that the ball bearing carriage rested on, one is slightly smaller in diameter, on the inside diameter, because that's the one that sit, and that ain't it, this one, sorry, the larger one, sit right there, as you can see. The other one is a smaller diameter, doesn't. So what you want to do is put the one with the smaller diameter here, because that's where the ball bearings are going to sit on. And then you're going to put the new washer. Don't forget, that's loaded with lithium grease. And you're going to drop that on there like that. You're then going to get the raced washer, which, don't forget, this guy is a perfect fit here, as you can see. And this, because it's a perfect fit, keeps that guy in place. And it's also less drag because that ball bearing does not touch the side of the rotating shaft. So less drag, more speed, more bearings, less rumble. It's all good instead of that. Then we're going to put this guy on like this, obviously with the race falling down. And kind of get it all lined up like this. And now a little bit of grease around here won't hurt, a little bit. Oh, so before we talk about getting it in there, don't forget that that bottom locating screw is going to go into here. Remember the two screws? The top one, I'm really not sure what it does. I think it might just align this up. So only very, very gently that goes in. To tell you the truth, I think it's from a previous version of the Garrard transport. It really doesn't do a lot. The bottom one has to sit in here. And you wiggle it around and tighten it up. Snug it, not over tighten. But anyway, so now this goes in here like this. Give it a wiggle because you've got to get it all through everything. And now you're in. Before you tighten that bottom screw up, make sure that this guy is in the right position, which I believe is that way for the record to drop. Is it that way or is it that way? I think it's that way. So that's in position. Now you can tighten that up so it's nice and snug and you're good to go. Spins very nicely. Thanks for watching.